So welcome to a very blustery Orford Ness on the Suffolk coast in the UK. This amazing location that blends the darker side of human history with the most incredible tale of resilience in the natural world. This incredible 10-mile long shingle spit that houses some of the rarest vegetation on planet Earth. I'm here tonight to help lead a photography workshop. I've been invited by the National Trust to guide about 8 or 10 people taking photographs of the night sky from this incredible location that until very recently was completely closed off to the public. So it was an opportunity I simply couldn't turn down. Weather-wise, things are looking okay. Could be better, could definitely be clearer, but hopefully over the course of the night we'll get a few good patches of clear sky, and I'm particularly hoping that in the early hours of the morning we will see the core of the Milky Way rising to the southeast. Now tonight is very much all about the participants of the workshop, but I'm hoping that I can bring you guys along to really get a taste for this really quite alien, really quite unique landscape, and hopefully we'll get some great images of the night sky too. Earlier that afternoon we took the little ferry over the estuary to access the island just as the last day trippers were leaving for the day, and suffice to say we got some funny looks as we headed out to the blustery bleakness for the night. But honestly, I couldn't have been more excited to be allowed onto this mysterious island as darkness began to fall. Once we arrived we had some safety briefings from Nicola at the National Trust, and we definitely paid attention given that this site is still littered with unexploded ordnance from its military past. And then we spent some time talking the group through various techniques to get them up and running on their astrophotography journey. Some people even went out to shoot in the daylight. Not really sure what that's all about. How about that for a sunset? A real treat, just pinks and oranges and reds. Hopefully that cloud that's creating the good sunset will start to disperse over the course of the night. We're going to be starting the workshop very shortly. I've met all the participants. We've got a really good group here, a very mixed set of backgrounds, a mixed set of experiences with shooting the night sky. So hopefully tonight a lot of people will learn a little bit more. Mostly I hope everyone has a really good adventure out here, because it's that adventure which just grabs you and keeps you coming back for more and more night sky imaging. Okay, so pretty much everyone is now up and running, taking some images. And our first location is this incredible building behind with the skeletal roof structure that's caved in at some point. And it's a simple composition with Cassiopeia above it. The cloud is starting to clear a bit. There's still quite a lot in the sky, but definitely clear enough that we can work with it. Cassiopeia, of course, is one of those constellations that looks fantastic with that star glow effect caused by those high clouds. So it's a simple composition here. I've got a crack in this concrete leading up to the building, Cassiopeia behind. I'm shooting with the modified Canon 6D Sigma Art 24mm f1.4 lens, and I am at f2.8, 12-second exposures, and I think I'm at ISO 3200, maybe a bit lower than that. I'll probably do about 20 of these exposures and stack them, and then I'll do a longer exposure for the foreground. But we're up and running, everyone's taking pictures, everyone's having a good time, it's great. Okay, so the sky shots are done. I did about 20 to 25 exposures and I'm now doing a 2-minute exposure for the foreground, and I've stopped down to f10, which is probably the narrowest I've ever shot at for a foreground, but that's because I want everything in focus, right from the sort of the cracks in the concrete here all the way up to the roof of the building. I'm shooting at ISO 1600 f10, which I just described, and a 2-minute exposure. With the imaginative name of Laboratory 1, this imposing building was the first of 6 atomic weapons test cells constructed here by the UK's Atomic Weapons Research Establishment. And inside this massive structure, Britain's first atomic bomb, known as Blue Danube, was subjected to mechanical and vibration tests, with the roof designed to blow off in the event of an accident. Okay, so slightly different composition on the same subject here. I've come round to the west a bit, and there's this sort of end of the building that's got this, what looks like a large pipe, some sort of ventilation pipe coming out of the end of it, and maybe it's a heating, or I don't know what it's related to. And the sort of derelict outbuildings here as well. And they're filling the sort of the bottom right-hand corner of the frame. And then you've got Cassiopeia up towards the top left of the frame. I quite like the balance that it's showing. Same settings as earlier, so 13-second exposure with the Sigma 14mm art lens dialed down to f2.8, and I'm at ISO 1600. Again, I'll probably do 15 to 20 sky shots, longer exposure for the foreground. So we've moved location to what's called the Black Beacon, this amazing structure behind me. Almost looks like the tower of a windmill. And I'm doing here a time lapse at 35mm with Vega and ultimately what will be the Cygnus region, the Milky Way, beginning to rise over it. So hopefully that'll be quite a nice punched in time lapse. It'll be quite a nice effect. I'm shooting at f2.8 with a Samyang 35mm 1.4 lens, and I'm shooting 12-second exposures with a 2-second interval, and I am at ISO 3200. And hopefully this will be quite a nice little time lapse. Everyone else is gathering around to do some more compositions on this amazing structure. Okay, so it's just before 1 AM, and unfortunately some quite thick cloud has rolled over in the last half hour or so. It looks like, if I look down towards the south, that there is a window of clear sky that's going to eventually blow this way, but I imagine that'll take about an hour. So we're going to head in for a bit, grab a cup of coffee, review all of our images, and hopefully people can learn a little bit by looking at the images that they got in the back of the camera. So hopefully we can then come out again in about an hour and shoot a little bit more, and hopefully get some good images as the Milky Way starts to rise in the southeast. It's just coming up to 2:45 in the morning, and as you can probably tell behind me, that cloud that started to thicken earlier has become almost total across the sky. In fact, I can't see a single star looking around anymore. So reluctantly, we decided to call that a night. I've had an awesome time out here. So even though I haven't shot that many photographs, I've done quite a few time lapses, but just helping people who don't usually spend time out under the stars with their cameras, just helping them get a bit better at that has been really rewarding. It's the first time I've ever guided anything like this, and I've really enjoyed it. And I think what's made it particularly special is just being in such a unique place. I can hear all around me right now the bird life. Being around those magnificent concrete structures just creates a real atmosphere here, which is unlike anything I've ever encountered at night before. So just a fantastic night. If you got this far, thank you very much indeed for watching. I'll put on the screen in just a second the images that I managed to capture this evening, and I hope very much that you'll be able to join me soon on another Nightscape adventure. See you soon.